Hey everybody, Taylor Haney, single track surgeon, coming at you with another video, and today I'm here in beautiful Loma Linda, California. This is where it all started for me. This is where my dad and I built a ton of trails, and today we're gonna ride them, but I'm gonna be testing the Kona Process 153, the alloy version. This is probably an entry-level bike to a mid-level bike, so I wanna see what it can do, what it rides like, and well, at the end of the day, is this a bike you should buy? Let's check it out. Like any great ride at Hulda, you gotta start out with SITH, but first we gotta get there. Good rhythm section. Now I'm starting on SITH because it's a great combination of flow and speed. You've got faster sections up top, but then as you get down lower, you're gonna have some of those flow sections. I can already feel that shorter chainstay length. You feel it wanting to snap around a little bit more. Add some flow into the mix. Now I'm not going 100% on this at all because it's a brand new bike, and sending in our brand new bike isn't the best option. It's usually when you go down. So if you're testing bikes, take it easy at first, learn what the bike will do. But the good thing is, I really know this trail well because I built it, so I don't have to worry about any surprises. Oh yeah, seems to want to ride a little bit high on those. How well does it squash? Yeah, pretty good. Track this inside. There's 29er wheels. After just one run here at Hulda, I can tell that this chainstay length is way shorter than what I'm used to. Now, depending on what kind of rider you are, that could be a good or a bad thing. If you want something that's really going to pocket into corners and really change directions quickly, this is gonna be a huge advantage. Now, where this may have some shortcomings would be on a really fast trail. So you may not feel the same stability. So because of that, we're gonna head all the way up and do Outlaw because it's the fastest trail here, 1,000 feet of vert in 1 mile. Let's go hit it. You. All right, we're heading into Outlaw. So where the speed's gonna start to pick up. Let's add something steep into the mix. It holds edges better than I thought it would with that short rear triangle. All right, final berms, cut inside. Woo! All right, sprint to the finish. Gotta pump these corners. Oh yeah, that's fun. Man, that is still one of my favorite trails that I've ever built. I love that trail, and on this bike, it is really fun. Now, at full speed, I did feel quite a bit of a difference compared to some of the other bikes I've ridden with longer wheelbase and a longer chainstay. But in a lot of the situations where I needed to pull the bike into a quicker corner, I was able to pull this bike out of its radius. Let me try and explain that. On some of those long corners where you're at full speed, this is not as stable because it doesn't have that rail that some of those other bikes have. But because it doesn't have that, you can easily pull it out of that line. So if you need to make a quick adjustment, this bike is actually easier to do that with. And because of that, it's just really fun and it makes you want to move the bike more and not stay as quiet. So for some riders, that's a positive. Some riders, maybe that's a negative. But now we gotta do some of my favorite riding, and that is free ride! Woo! Those who know this area well recognize Pinball Wizard behind me. This is one of the last trails that I built in Hulda Crooks. But we're not gonna go down Pinball Wizard right now. We're actually gonna go down Razor Ridge, also known as Speed Demon, and then we'll drop into another trail. So it's actually one of my new favorite laps here at Hulda. So we'll take a run. Lots of little rhythms here. We are past all of the fast flow. Now we're gonna get into some steep technical bits. I have no idea what this is gonna look like. Oh yeah. That's a little ready. So this is all part of this long run that I like to do. And now we're gonna head into lockdown. Much tighter corners. You really have to try and throw the bike into them. But man, this bike really likes to turn. All I have to do is unweight a little bit and it obeys. It's almost too quick. Whew. Take that inside. Oh! Ooh, go through my dust cloud. Oh boy. Floating right over that. Woo, catch burn. By this point, I'm sure a lot of you have noticed that this isn't necessarily a stock build. And there's a good reason for that. I like to test frames on what they're able to do and not necessarily the components. So thankfully, Jojo has allowed me to borrow his Kona. So this is actually his Kona Process 153, and he has it set up very similar to my race bike. So I'm able to do a true apples to apples comparison because this component spec is nearly identical to what I have on my race bike. Running Zeb Ultimate up front, you got GX Axis, the Super Deluxe in the rear. Pretty much all of my suspension settings have transferred over exactly, which is really great, easy setup. This is also running the Hope E4s, which I have to say so far have some of the best modulation I've felt. I'm gonna be doing a long-term review on these E4s, the brand new Zeb Ultimate with the Buttercups, as well as GX Axis, and why I think it's one of the best advancements in mountain biking. And if you don't have it, why don't you have it? But this part spec is easy to build out. Ridgeline Service has all these parts pretty much in stock. We can get them, and well, you can build your process just like this. Now we're gonna head down Pinball Wizard. It is actually named, let's try that again. Can't ride and talk. Now we're gonna head down Pinball Wizard. It's actually named after a popular song. Kudos to anybody who knows the band and throws it down in the comments. But this trail is super flowy. It's one of the last ones I built here at Hulda. It's designed so you don't really have to pedal much. If you hold your speed right, the bike will do the rest. But it's got a lot of braking bumps because it's rather popular. That's the part that everybody has problems with. Hold as much speed as you can And then down this chute. Woo! Got a little off my line there. Slid into the wall. Big berms. Jump over that inside. Now you can double that, but I'm not gonna try it on a smaller bike. Don't want to hurt Joe's bike. Lots of flow. Get a little more speed. Top this corner. Straighten it out. Ooh. That's good. Roller section. And this is the crossing. Look both ways. And we're heading back up. Now we're heading on to Caldera. Now, if there was one trail that I would expect this bike to do very well on, it would be this one. Once we head into the canyon, super tight turns. You really got to be able to maneuver quickly, and that short chainstay length should really shine in here. So let's see what she can do. Oh yeah, pumping through it, no problem. Now onto the bottom Outlaw. Man, I love that pocket berm. Slowed out of that. And there we go. Run down Caldera. That's definitely the trail that this felt the best on all day. Phew. All right, guys, so the big question is, how much does this bike cost? There are two versions of the 153 in alloy. One is $36.99 and the other is $41.99. The difference really is going to be the suspension. There are some upgraded parts, but for the most part, you're paying for that upgraded suspension, which I would highly recommend going for. You have more adjustment, you can dial in those settings. Man, for a bike that's about half the price as my race bike build, to get this type of performance and that type of suspension kinematics in the rear of the frame, that's really awesome. And you know, if you guys take anything away from this video, hopefully you understand this is a fantastic middle of the road bike. It does everything well. It doesn't really excel in anything, but because of that, it does everything really well. Because when you do something really well, you usually sacrifice something else. Hopefully you got something good out of this review. I'm going to be doing a more deep dive into the specs for all the tech nerds out there. Back in my studio at home talking about all of the numbers. So if you want more information on that, check out that video. I'll put that video link down in the description below. Until next time, remember, go fast, get drifty, and don't suck. Phew!